Question: what happens if we send troops, a lot of them, back to the Middle East? President Obama told a room full of reporters that 100 soldiers a month would die, 500 would be injured. It would cost $10 billion per month. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West is with us. He served in Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and later in Afghanistan. Alan, it seems to me that this is a man of straw that's being set up here, as if the only alternative to our current do very little policy is to go to all-out war. And I think that's not a valid choice that the president is presenting.
Good morning to you. Merry Christmas, Stuart, and to the other hosts you have. And you're absolutely right. What the president is saying is that we only have two alternatives, just the same as with the Iran nuclear agreement. If we don't do this, it means war. And so what type of leader stands up and says that I will not support and defend the Constitution, I will not stand up against the enemies of the United States of America, because I will come up with such a bad strategy that I will get Americans killed, I will get Americans wounded, and this is what it will cost. Well, so the president is showing that he does not want to have any responsibility. And Stuart, this is what will really end up happening. He's willing to say that I'll allow the terrorists to come here and kill you instead of me committing our forces.
Well, I'd like to see some mention of a no-fly zone or a safety zone for the refugees. I mean, we could do that without tens of thousands of troops on the ground, without major casualties, but that seems to have never been discussed by the president. Last comment to you.
Well, you're absolutely right. The president does not want to come up with any type of courses of action because he'll be held responsible. And why can't the president fly over to the Middle East and meet with President El-Sisi of Egypt, meet with King Abdullah of Jordan, meet with the Kurdish leadership, and come up with a coalition and show that he is willing to make a stand?
Okay, we shall see. I want to bring this to your attention. The Pentagon planning to transfer 17 more Gitmo detainees in the coming weeks. Now, what do you say to that?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the Constitution says that the enumerated power to deal with matters of captures on land and sea is to the Congress and not to the executive branch. These are unlawful enemy combatants, and we're releasing them back onto the battlefield. You just talked about how the fact that this battlefield is here in the United States of America. Why at this time will we release 17 more of these jihadist fighters to go back and, 30 to 33% do return to the battlefield, Stuart?
But you know what? We say this all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing a Republican Congress can do about it. It's going to happen, just like with the budget deal and similar things that are going on. There's nothing the right, conservatives, Republicans can do about this.
Well, then, Stuart, we no longer live in a constitutional republic. We live in a constitutional monarchy. And what you are saying is that the President of the United States of America, the executive branch, can do whatever they wish, be it this issue, illegal immigration, with our budget, what have you, with rules and regulations that come down and affect our financial markets. This is a constitutional crisis that we see here in the United States of America right now. And we need to come to understand, is this part of the fundamental transformation of America to move us away from fundamentally what we're supposed to be?